Hello, everybody. Jack, Chris, we are live with the Now See Here podcast in the VIP section, as you can see, at the Southlife Car Show in Pearl, Mississippi at Trustmark Park, and it's a great event. We've got some guys here who I just found out. We're doing this on the fly, spontaneous, but you gentlemen came down from Nashville just for this event. First, give me your names. And
I'm Taylor Holmesley from Murfreesboro, outskirts of Nashville, and
I'm Chris Falcon from Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, Chris.
And I'm James Felton from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
Tennessee guys all the way down. What brought you down to Southlife?
well, Stupid Cold was in February, and I have family in Memphis area, and Stupid Cold this particular year, they went to Memphis to do their show because they couldn't get a hangar for whatever reasons that is normally held at. At that show, him and I went there. Was kind of introduced with Roddy.
Right.
And we actually didn't personally meet. I kept trying to meet up with him, but it was so crazy that day. It was so cold, and everybody was trying to get in and get out and see cars and get back in the cars and warm up. And so, long story short, upon leaving Memphis and going back home, there was a posting with some of our cars as kind of presented as with Southlife that Roddy was going to host this year. And that just kind of stemmed it for me. And I started telling Chris and a lot of guys in our car club about it, and we had a bigger crew that was going to come, but some postponing issues took place with weather earlier this year with the show for Southlife, so
right.
It got moved down to July, and so not all of us were able to make it, but we were able to get here, so we were able to represent a little bit, and I wanted to see what it was about because we do a lot of big car shows and stuff where a lot of it is cookie cutters, same kind of stuff.
Do you go all over the country or just the South primarily?
Primarily the South,
right?
Yeah, and but because of what Roddy was creating with this show, got me really interested in it.
Yep.
And I love shows that have a huge variety in them. You know, old school, new school, imports, domestics. You know, customs, rat rods, bikes, all that stuff. It's always fun to have that kind of flavor at a car show. All walks of life come, and we're all brought together with cars.
Yep.
You know, the
community. Yeah,
exactly. So, if you got
He pretty much said about all, but I'm mostly
the spokesman here. Huh?
Pretty much. But I'm mostly I'm into this stuff for the build of the car and the stuff. Paint work is custom paint jobs is what I do for a living. So it's
right.
Doing the whole build, custom build is my sort of thing. So it's all fun and games for me to see all this kind of stuff.
And did they make you drive? Were you the designated driver?
I have my own car, but I'm a photographer. I'm a car photographer.
Oh, okay.
So I do a lot of the car shows with me and Taylor, and Chris has been friends for a while. I was in one of his crews a while back. I used to have a Nissan 370Z I used to drive around with and cleaned and everything else. And then I got into photography, and I've been doing that for a year and a half now. I love it.
You know, I just found out yesterday that there's actually, there are car photographers that you got to be, trained to do that. I thought anybody could take a picture of a car, but no, it's not the case.
No. There's a lot to it.
Well, guys, I didn't know until Roddy told me just a couple of days ago that this was the first Southlife. What do you think so far? We're like, 2 hours in?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's great.
It's got, 300 cars out there, I guess, Roddy?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people, and you say you got all women, men, everybody, every gender, everybody's out there.
We were actually, just before coming up here to do the interview, we were talking about how this is a really nice turnout. It's definitely worth the travel to come up here and stuff, and Roddy and his team's done an amazing job so far, so I'm really impressed.
And I posted on your website too it said give a recommendation, and I said I'll be here every year if you have it. It's a great show.
I'm not an expert, but looking at the numbers so far, I bet there's going to be a second year.
Yeah.
And we'll be here, to help it on. And I also told Roddy, what I know about a car can fit in a glove compartment. I'm lucky to put gas in a car. Really, I have to ask somebody to help me. But I'm learning. Everybody in the car community, they're so nice.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to be an expert. They'll be glad to talk to you and say this, and show you, and they don't care. So I'm kind of getting into it myself. Roddy's turning me into it. I might start my own show next year and compete with him.
Yeah.
Call it No Life. People that don't know anything about cars. Guys, what's your website or information if people want to learn more about what you do?
Oh, I got my own Facebook profile like everyone else does, but then I have my business profile with Falcon Street Customs.
Falcon Street Customs.
Yes.
All right.
And it's mostly with custom paint jobs and body work, custom body work, everything custom with that on that page.
And you can go ahead and announce the Go Glow Yourself crew.
Well, that too. Our crew is Go Glow Yourself, and I mean we only got 2 people here, but I think we have a total of like 15 people, and most of everybody right now is married and having kids and stuff.
Oh,
I'm like the only one that's not married and has kids out of everybody. So
I'll talk to you after. You might want to wait.
And Go Glow Yourself, basically, for the most part, based out of Tennessee, but we do have a smaller chapter in Alabama. They're still active. So, and then as far as I mean, I just have my Instagram page and my personal page and stuff, and I've kind of turned my Facebook into just car stuff. Rarely do I do family stuff on it. It's just kind of become media for cars. And then I do a little side stuff. I call it TKO Customs. It's kind of branches off the nickname of the car that I built, the Killer Orca. So but I do like splitter builds and diffusers and side skirts and things like that. Small stuff. Anybody's interested, they could look up that.
Well, got it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then mine's JD Photography.
JD Photography.
Yes, sir, on Facebook, and then JD_photography on Instagram. And I do weddings, cars. If you'd like to line up a car shoot or something like that, shoot me a message and we'll get something together.
And I'll be sure to send you guys bills for this promotion.
There you go.
No, I'm kidding. Listen, guys, thanks for coming down to Mississippi. We appreciate you supporting South Life, supporting Roddy Merritt, and coming on the Now See Here podcast. And it's cool in here. I think we ought to just stay.
I was going to ask, when we're done with this, let's just hang out.
Guys, thanks so much. Good to have you on the show. Jack Chris here at Now See Here. We're live at the Southlife Car Show in Pearl, Mississippi. Thanks so much for listening and watching on YouTube.